Hello and welcome back to another Centurion's Corner. I'm Steve, currently on work in progress number 3, and we're up with Mr. Pons. So what I've done, I've painted his underskirt so it's now black both sides, so they're just drying out, and also I've finished off his guns so they're all silver now. His holsters still a little bit tacky, so they're still drying. So by the time we finish, hopefully they were dried. What I might do as well is actually attach them to the holster or to his belt with my glue, which is a 2-part epoxy. So I'll be doing that. And yeah, so we're just going to go back to finishing off Mr. Pons. So I've got the images here on the computer, and I'm just going to look at doing his helmet today. And the only other part that he's got is on his shoulder pads, and that's his paint. Oh no, he's got 2 wispy lines that go from his underside of his sides that go up to the back, and then that's him painted. So we've just got these parts here to do. So I think I might crack on with that before the head. I hope you guys are not finding this too boring, these videos. Sometimes I look back and I'm just like, I do not find it entertaining, but sometimes it's quite nice to just watch the whole progress of something being made. As I find sometimes with these customized videos, it's just literally someone just showing you straight away, and there's no sort of indication of what they've used, what they've done, and even if you want to have a stab at it, you have to do the research. So that's why I thought I'd jump on the old YouTube and just sort of show you how I do it, even though I've only just started. So there's probably a lot of people out there saying, oh, he's not done that, but ayo, we'll learn. So, right, just gonna, I want to see what is here. One just sort of comes around the back and down. So I kind of sort of like, just imagine it first. Just get a and just repeat for the other side. As I'm doing it, I always try and see how much gap I've left there. So if you're quite good at sort of working out distances and halves and stuff, and not very good at art, then just use the skills that you have that you can. So if you just go, oh, it's about 1/2 centimetre away from there all the way around, then obviously just repeat on the other side, and use parts of the armour as well to go by. So this side here, I've literally put it onto the crease and go down. I'll tidy that up next time as well, but you know when to stop and you know where to start. Okay. So his arm wise, they just go around the outside, and then we've got that little bit in the middle. So again, we just have a stab at it freehand, and we can see that little stump in the middle there is just as wide as his stripe. So if you use that as a bit of a guideline as well when you're doing your figure, then should be in for a win. top of the shoulder pad as well. Frustrating sort of thing as well is like these shoulder pads, as using these as a bit of a reference, you've got to use your imagination, because the shoulder pad for these guys and compared to these guys, it's that way around. So we just got to start from there. So I'm literally going to start right from the top. It's one thing I haven't looked actually on the old into W.I.P to see, sometimes it's quite good reference if someone has cosplayed as that character. I'm going to say no. There's nothing on there. So just do a basic triangle. Just try and work out in the middle, go up to the point, and obviously just join it up. It's kind of like one side's a bit of a mound, but the other one goes up to a point. Most of these bits are like points, so I'll keep it as a point. Let's see if we can find it on here. Yeah, so you're looking at the screen. I'll put it back up on the screen here. There's actually his arm pads a little bit wider than the figure. But as we're on it, we can sort that out. I'll find this up here. It kind of goes in. And washes back out. Right, okay. I had to just cancel it out then because I wasn't too sure about these shoulder pads. So I've had a little look on YouTube, and there's only a couple of sort of scenes really where you do see his shoulders, and they are a little bit thicker on the sides, and then he's got like a rounder bottom inside there. So as these dry, I'll paint over them and then finish them off to get them looking the same. And this one just needs a little bit more blob down there. And as he dries in, done a couple coats already on there, and I've done a couple more coats as well to his under part, and yeah, it's kind of coming together a little bit. Just finish up there into a point. Right. Lovely. I'm going to stand over there. Not going to risk you, so you can lay down. Alright, now the fun part. To play with his helmet. A new little thin brush for this. So what I do with here, I'll just paint where I need to go. I'll just use it as a stencil. And then all I need to do is stencil his markings, and then the rest is quite sorry, I got the windows open due to a bit warm in the UK at the moment for a change. Yeah, so then all I've got to do is stencil his outlines of his cheek parts, and then colour in the rest, and then he's painted. But again, we're up to a stage where I've got to try and pre-guess where I'm going to put the paint on his side of his helmet. It kind of sort of comes down to a point on the top here. He has very thin white lines just between his mohawk, just to make things a bit harder. But they're just like kind of like just round big balls on top of his head. But because he's got the grey marks as well on the side, just going to bring that in and then around. So it's not come too bad up for the first time. Just give you all the heads up. So yeah, just in front of him there. I did go a little bit around the back. Didn't come to plan, but I can straighten that part up anyway. It was just me sort of edging, and yeah, now it's just painting the rest up. Alright, okay guys, we're nearly there. So what I'm going to do now, the helmet's drying, it's got a bit of a smudge on there, so I'm just going to leave it and let it dry, and then I'll go back to it. So what I'm going to do in the meantime, I'm going to try and apply the brown paint around the edges of the skirt. So it's just a simple case of getting the masking tape and just leaving enough to go around the edge. It's actually applying quite nicely. Might need a few coats, but should be fine. I reckon about 2 coats on this will bring it straight out quite nicely. Just going to look into this guy now. And then get the old scalpel. And I'm just going to bring these in just a little bit. From the point. And I've got the edge, I'm just going to neaten it up. Okay, so there's his shoulder pads. Just gave him a little bit of a scrub up, so he's looking fine and dandy. The helmet's just curing at the moment. It's still needs a little bit of work, but it's still a little bit wet. So for now, paints can go away. Bit of masking tape on the old board. One of my little sticks. Right, so I'm going to glue the holsters, hopefully attach it to this belt. So the way that Wolf's belt is, it's just attached. So as I always took these moulds off Rex, I cut it right at the belt. So I'm hoping I can just attach to those there. It's not a lot of room to attach, but we'll give it a go. Okay, so what you need is one of these. I'll do quite a bit actually, because I'm gonna see if I can attach the skirts to the main body as well. So again, just like the mini put, it's a two-part. You want plenty of glue. It's got to be the same amount each, and then we just give it a stir. Give it a good stir for about 30 seconds. Be dry in 30 minutes. Hope you're counting, because I ain't. Right. Okay. So at first I find it's very. You can just apply it straight away, and it will set. But so if you wait for it just to get a little bit more cooler or setting, I find that it's easier to stick, because you can just stick it, leave it, and it's stuck in place. But as I want to do a few things, I'm going to start first. I'm going to start with going to use the pen over this paint, because it's bled underneath the masking tape. It's probably not the idea of this thing, but as I've got glue. Right, just going to curve it up a little bit, both sides. I'm just going to place a little bit on either side, well, a lot on there just in case the fabric absorbs. And I'm just going to place it inside the groove we made. Right, just going to fiddle with this and catch you in a minute. Right, so it's the next morning. I've attached all his accessories, just let them dry. Did have a bit of a hassle with the gluing last night, and the glue was just getting everywhere, so I decided just to sit back and then go back to it as it was getting quite late. So what I've done is attach the belt. The groove around underneath didn't really work too much, so I had to trim back on the skirt and then just do it up to the line of where the belt would normally sit. So if you're trying this at home, I would try not to do the groove until probably like the last bit. If you can get a thinner material, it'll probably work brilliant, but because this is quite thick, I wouldn't even try it. So that goes around the back. So all I need to do is just touch up a little bit on these paint lines, just to bring it to the top. A little bit of touch up around on the paints around here, just to bring it in line. And that is Mr. Pons. There he goes. And there's his helmet. And all I've got to do is do a bit of detailing around the back, straighten up that line a little tad there, plonk him on, and start weathering. So that's it for now. I'll see you next time. Bye.